I'm Yong. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, it is mainly for yoga teachers or whoever who are thinking to conduct your online yoga classes. And here are some tips for you to make your online classes more pleasant way. And now I'm going to show you the setup of my studio. Alright, you are seeing two mats in a cross position here because I think it's good for the yoga teachers to be able to show the students in different angles when they are teaching, so that your students will be able to see the poses in different angles so they won't do it wrong. So sometimes when it's in high lunge pose, you want to tell your students about the position of your knee. That'll be easier or clearer if you move it to this way, and you will tell the students where you put the knee. This is good for your students, and they can enjoy the class better. They can have a clearer understanding on your. Second thing that I am stressing is the lighting, because I'm also a photographer myself, so I know how important is the lighting, no matter when it comes to photography or taking videos, and also actual online classes, the live classes. You have as much lighting as possible so that your image will be clear to your students, especially when you're doing a virtual class, a live class. It's really helping to have more lightings. As now you can see the setup, you are not able to see that I actually have 4 lights turned on and 1 spotlight directly on my face, on my the sports, another light panel on my right side. So when I'm turning to the right side, when I'm doing the poses, so that people can still be able to see clearly, all right, you'll be able to see the difference a lot. I'm going to turn off 1 light by 1 light until there is just 1 light left, and you'll be able to see the difference. Now you have 4 lights, and this is how it looks like. I'm going to turn off the first light, the second light, and then I'll turn off the third, which is the spotlight, and I have just 1 light on me. And this is how I look like. Well, you'll be able to see quite clearly now still because of the camera that I'm using. Okay, I'm using a phone with quite a good camera feature. Quite a new model, Vivo X60 Pro, and then it captures light well. But do not forget that now I'm actually doing capturing a video using the camera. When it comes to live streaming, you will need much more lighting to your camera, to your device, whatever device you're using. Okay, so bear in mind that more lightings will give you clearer images. All right. The third very important thing for me to conduct a yoga class, typical yoga class, because I'm not talking about those Zumba classes or HIIT, which you are facing when the teachers are teaching or the instructors are teaching. They're actually facing to the camera a lot. But for yoga teachers or yoga instructors, we have to do the poses and talk, instruct during the poses. So some of the poses actually we are facing down instead of facing to the camera. So it's really good that we have a mic attaching to you, close to your mouth, so that when you are in downward facing down, or when your face is facing to the, I think very close to the yoga mat, you are still be able to convey your instructions, your messages to your students. So this is probably the most expensive investment that I invested when I decided to conduct an online class, because I want to give a pleasant experience and pleasant classes to the students. And I believe that a clear instructions and clear voice from an instructor or teachers is really making difference. So if you are serious about it, maybe this is the one investment that I would advise you to make. Well, this is rather a expensive mic. This is a wireless mic from Rode. This is wireless Gold Plus, I think. So this cost me like 700 ringgit. Yeah, but it's a very decent mic. I think if you are making videos, if you plan to make videos and other things, you can still make use of this mic. All right. There are still plenty of other brands in the market which may cost lesser. So do explore a good mic, so that at least you can let your students hear you clearly. All right. I think that makes very big difference. Since you are not able to watch or interact directly with your students, your voice does matter, right? Lastly, you'll be able to see my setup on the other devices. You see a laptop and 2 pads. So I have 2 iPads here. Of course, you don't need so many things here, but it's just that I need the laptop to record the class, because I'm actually keeping a record of every classes that I teach, and I'm saving it to my YouTube channel so that I am giving a copy to my students who attended the class, or some students, they couldn't attend the class at the exact time, so I'll send the record to them to practice again. So I have 2 devices here so that I can see my students clearly, and I like that iPad. I can bring it here and there. Sometimes I'll move the pad next to my mat so that I don't feel lonely, and it gives me a feeling that I'm practicing with my students, along with my students. And the mic again will let me have the chance to speak to my students during the classes and after the classes. Okay. All right. Here are the 4 very important tips that I'm stressing at. One is the mat. If you have 2 mats, why not just bring it out and set up 2 mats so that you can show more angles to your students. The lightings, the more lights you have, give the better view and clearer view for your students. The third one is the mic. So an investment is needed for giving a good quality voices. And the fourth one is the setup of the devices. Other devices that this is really very personal. It depends on whether you want to keep a record or not, or else just one laptop or iPad will do the job for you. Other tips that I have in mind is like, actually, because I'm using Zoom to conduct my classes, there are plenty of other platforms that you can use. If you are keen to meet the students and see the students, you can also use Google Meet, which is free. You can also use the Facebook platform or Instagram platform if you are doing a live classes. But that one, you're not able to see your students. It's like you do not know who is coming to the classes. You don't see them. But it's all right. If you are starting up your online virtual yoga classes or studio, I hope this video will give you some insights and tips, and it will help you to set up your video, your online classes. And let me know how you feel about this video, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be pleased to answer if I know. All right, see you guys.